Big surprise! Kyle Van Noy is officially a semifinalist for the Lombardi Award. So what else is new? More about the only independent in the running.
I'm Jake Edmonds. We have a huge showdown here in Madison, Wisconsin tomorrow. We'll let you know what you can expect come game time.
And breaking records, Cody Hoffman is on the verge of securing his place on top. And he only needs a handful of yards to become the best receiver in BYU's history. I'm Skylar Hardman.
And I'm Mary Blanchard. Grab your brats and cheese curds. It's time for the Tube. It may be cold, but I'm still jealous those guys got to go out to Wisconsin.
Man, it's going to be a fun game, and if BYU gets the win, that would be so cool to be there.
That would be awesome. Well, let's toss it right on over to Wisconsin. Jake, what's going on up there?
Thanks, Mary. It is a cold one here in the Midwest as the Cougars get ready to take on Wisconsin. The Badgers coming into the game ranked number 24th in the country, looking to build on that success against BYU this weekend. Welcome to Camp Randall Stadium. I'm Jake Edmonds alongside CoogTube reporter Zach Brady. Zach, you cold yet?
Yeah, just a little bit.
It is freezing here. I should have worn gloves. So what can we expect from this game tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You got two teams. It'll be like a backyard brawl, kind of. I mean, Wisconsin, they give up less than 100 rush yards per game. BYU averages over 250 rush yards per game. So it'll be interesting to see the battle between the rush defense and the rush offense of the two teams.
So it'll be a little bit of a battle of juggernauts. Something's got to give, right?
Exactly.
So what about the offensive end for Wisconsin? Who's a player that we can expect to perform well this week?
So Wisconsin's rush defense is good, but their rush offense is also great too. They got two great running backs, but when they throw the ball, it's usually to Jared Abbrederis, who he came to Wisconsin as a freshman walk-on, who was actually a quarterback, who is now one of the top receivers in school history. This season, he's got 46 catches for 782 yards, 6 touchdowns, and averaging 17 yards per catch. So it'll be interesting to see BYU's secondary going up against Abbrederis when Wisconsin decides to throw the ball up over the top.
All right, we'll all be excited for that matchup. Thanks, Zach. And speaking of stellar receivers, BYU has one on the verge of yet another milestone. CoogTube reporter Dave Neely tells us about our own Cody Hoffman.
Peeps into the end zone, has his man, touchdown! Cody Hoffman with the score.
That touchdown catch for Cody Hoffman against Florida State didn't mean too much for the Cougars as they went on to lose the game 34-10. But for a young wide receiver playing just his third collegiate game, it was the beginning of a great career.
It's happening right now in Tallahassee.
Little did we know at the time, but that catch and others early in his career put Hoffman on track to become one of the all-time great wide receivers in BYU history.
Oh, did he catch that? He did!
In this year's BYU game against Houston, Hoffman became the all-time reception leader for the Cougars. Less than 1 week later against Boise State, number 2 became number 1 on the all-time touchdown list.
I never really thought coming out of high school that I'd come to a major college like this and rewrite the record books.
If you're keeping score at home, that's 2 records down, 1 to go. To complete the receiving record trifecta, Hoffman needs just 14 yards in tomorrow's game to become the all-time receiving yardage leader in BYU history.
It's a testament to his work ethic and, you know, obviously how he's developed himself as a player every single week. So it's been a lot of fun to watch that unfold.
From BYU's campus, Dave Neely, CoogTube.
Thanks, Dave. And while Hoffman will be aiming for that record, fellow receiver J.D. Falslev will be on the sidelines watching. J.D. sustained an injury during a team activity last week to his hand. BYU expects him to be out 3 to 4 weeks. Possible replacements for Falslev include Cody Hoffman, Eric Thornton, and Dallin Levitt. Now, BYU is in unfamiliar territory here in Big Ten country, having faced teams from the conference just 7 times in history. We welcome back CoogTube reporter Zach Brady. Zach, how has BYU been against the Big Ten historically?
Well, honestly, Jake, they haven't done very good at all. Their overall record against the conference is 2-4-1, and that's something they'll hope to improve on tomorrow as they face off against the Badgers.
And the 16th Thrifty Car Rental Holiday Bowl is underway in San Diego.
BYU's last shot at a Big Ten team came when they lost to Ohio State in the 1993 Holiday Bowl. Tomorrow they get another chance at the conference when they square off against the Badgers of Wisconsin, something Coach Mendenhall wanting more often.
It's a great fit. I like the focus on academics, and I like the matchup. I'd like to schedule more and more of the Big Ten teams. I think it's a great fit.
In their 2 years of football independence, BYU has defeated teams from the Pac-12, Big 12, ACC, and even the storied SEC. By adding a Big Ten team to that list, BYU has a chance to bring the program to new heights.
You know, anytime you go into a place where it's storied, if you will, you know, it's big-time college atmosphere, we're excited to go play, go show what we can do, and, you know, give the game our best shot. And the
Badgers have won the Big Ten 3 years running and are a trendy pick to go to a BCS bowl game this year. Spencer Hadley knows the Cougs are in for a fight, but says his squad is up to the challenge.
And it's going to be a physical game. They're a good opponent, and if you can't get excited for that, then get out of here, you know what I mean?
The last time BYU played Wisconsin was in 1980 when the Cougars came up to Madison and delivered a 28-3 beatdown.
So we're hoping to have that same outcome this week.
Exactly.
All right, thanks, Zach. So obviously the stadium is empty now, but it'll fill up with around 80,000 fans come tomorrow. I had a chance to talk to a couple of those fans today, and they told me what to expect come game time. Madison, Wisconsin isn't the most bustling and busy city in the world, but come game day, it's one of the loudest and craziest venues around.
The game day experience here is awesome. The whole entire town gets into it. It's the alums, it's the people that work here, it's the students. The atmosphere is just crazy. If you walk down State Street, you won't see anybody not wearing a Wisconsin shirt.
Everyone who's in the city on game day is involved in game day.
Camp Randall Stadium is home to 80,000 fans on any given weekend during football season, and it's the blue-collar Midwestern attitude that makes Badger fans some of the wildest and craziest in the country.
I first came to a game when I was a junior in high school, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God, I can't even handle it. They're out of control all the time, screaming, cheering.
And jumping. One tradition at Camp Randall Stadium is to get crazy and jump around after the third quarter, making fans amped for the end of the game. Even head coach Bronco Mendenhall acknowledges this unique spectacle.
We just turned on music today, and we didn't have anybody jumping in our indoor facility, but maybe that'll be tomorrow.
So if the Cougars want to come away with a win this weekend, they'll not only have to be ready for the 22 Badgers they meet on the field, but the 80,000 in the stands as well. And we had a chance to visit the stadium yesterday. The team was practicing, the lights were on, and you could already feel the atmosphere, and the stands were empty. So imagine tomorrow when these stands fill up what the atmosphere is going to be like. So we welcome back in Zach Brady. Zach, what do the Cougars need to do to win this game, bottom line?
Well, Jake, the first thing they got to do is stop the run. Wisconsin averages 287 rush yards per game, good enough for 10th in the country. BYU is going to have to play solid assignment football to shut that down. Second thing, limit Jared Abbrederis. We already talked about what a good receiver he is, one of the best in the school's history. Look for BYU to bring a safety over the top, help out Mike Haig, Sky Pove, and Rob Daniel. Double team Abbrederis at times to limit him going over the top. And the third is crowd control. This place is crazy, it's loud. BYU's gonna have to get off to a quick start and then create turnovers and capitalize off those turnovers. BYU is actually 6-0 on this season when they score a touchdown in the first quarter. So if BYU can do that, look for good things to happen here in Madison.
Okay, great. Lofty goals, but hopefully the Cougars come out with the win. Thanks, Zach. All right, well, that'll do.
Thanks, Jake.
I'm Jake Edmonds, and Mary, all there's left to do now is play the game.
Thanks, Jake. Stay warm.
Obviously, an important player in tomorrow's game will be linebacker Kyle Van Noy. KVN is turning plenty of heads with his playmaking ability, and he found himself in the running for 2 more awards this week. The Rotary Club named Van Noy a semifinalist for the Lombardi Award, along with other big names like Jadeveon Clowney and Anthony Barr. The Rotary Lombardi Award is given annually to the best lineman or linebacker in college football. Van Noy is also a new finalist for the NCAA's Senior Class Award.
Sunny San Diego is back on the Cougar radar. Athletic Director Tom Homo has negotiated a deal that will send our boys in blue back to the scene of the 1980 Miracle Bowl. It's not the Holiday Bowl, but the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl. It will be where the Cougars play a team from our old Mountain West Conference in 2016 and 2018 if we're bowl eligible and not headed into the playoffs. It's at the same stadium where we also won the '84 National Championship.
Hopefully if we play in San Diego enough, we'll get some of that national championship vibe back. When CoogTube returns, True Blues, men's basketball has some hidden talent that they're not about to hide under a bushel this season.
And kickers killing it. The women's soccer team is on a roll, smashing through opponents like a wrecking ball. Miley's got nothing on them.
Preseason basketball isn't always the most competitive, but it's still a fun chance to get to know the new team. As the Cougars hosted Alaska Anchorage in their final prep game last weekend. The Seawolves may have come to Provo to escape the harsh Alaska winter, but there was no shelter in sight. The Cougars sharing the rock on this one. 4 different players touch it in a matter of 2 seconds, and Eric Mika finishes with the dunk. That's why people go to preseason games, for some dunks. Here's a question, can BYU still score in transition? Tyler Haas says yes. Whoa, that chest bump might have been a little too much from Eric Mika. And then careful there. He is the face of our franchise. Now let's have some defense. Mika comes up with a good block there. No complaints here. The Cougars leave the Seawolves out in the cold and roll to victory, 99-68.
The boys on the basketball team know how to take care of things on the court, but it's their performance off the court that's catching national attention. CoogTube reporter Alan Miller found out what's creating all the buzz.
Fans are already camping out at the Marriott Center to get a seat at tonight's home opener, but at least they can watch the Cougar Hoopsters and their new string of music videos online while they're waiting in line.
You know our love was meant to be.
The Cougars teamed up with Gig.com to produce 16 music videos announcing each home game. Bill Hoop says he came up with the idea while talking with a friend about how to get more fans out to games.
Well, why don't we just do that? Let's just make music videos.
He took the idea to head coach Dave Rose, who calls Hoops the director of nonsense. After getting the okay, he asked players to sign up, but initially they weren't too excited.
At first we were all like, well, that's kind of weird.
Players had to memorize the lyrics to each song and sing along to the music. Hoop says getting the words down wasn't so easy.
Rappers, they speak really fast and they perform very quickly, and so for Matt to practice that song and to get it the way he got it, it was quite the feat.
Worthington starred in this week's R&B video, and he says they added some special effects for a special touch.
There was a little fan in the room, and they were like, oh, we should use this, and so they brought it out and just stuck it right in front of me.
In the latest video, the Cougarettes added some beauty as backup dancers. Frank Bartley IV also made a cameo and tried to pick up on their moves.
Actually, I tried to get them to teach us, and they were so focused on getting their dance moves right, so they wouldn't take time out to teach us.
The next video will be released at halftime during tonight's matchup against Weber State. Hoops wouldn't say which video is next, but Bartley revealed there's one coming where he plays the keys to Lionel Richie's Easy Like Sunday Morning. Mary?
Sounds great. Thanks, Alan. The women's basketball team had 2 exhibition games and 2 wins over the weekend. Colorado Mesa on Friday and Westminster on Saturday. The Lady Ballers fought back after being down 15 early on to beat the Mavericks. Jen Hampson tied a career high with 25 points and grabbed 13 boards, too, for good measure. That's a double-double, folks. BYU stole the W 70-66. On to Westminster. Hampson could not be contained, dropping another 20 spot, and Morgan Bailey added 16. Final score 72-60 BYU. The season opener tips off at 3 p.m. against South Dakota State. If you have tickets to the men's opener, you get in free.
From the Marriott Center to Southfield, we're sticking with the women. Last night, soccer hosted the WCC's newest member, Pacific. Before the game, Coach Jen Rockwood was honored. She's one of only 5 collegiate soccer coaches with 300 wins, all at the same program. Pacific is looking to spoil that special night, though, and less than a minute into the match, we have our first chance to yell, "Goal!" Oh, unfortunately, that's the wrong team. The Cougs' impenetrable defense was penetrated early, but the offense wouldn't let that lead last long. 10 minutes later, Chloe answers. Still knotted at halftime, Rockwood said that she challenged her attackers during the break. Well, they responded. 1 minute into the half, a cool hand free kick from midfield found Colette Jepson-Smith to give the Cougs their first lead of the night. The Cougars were in charge the rest of the way and even padded their stats with a third and final goal in the 83rd minute. Now 7-1 in conference, BYU still has a chance to get a share of the West Coast crown.
I hope they make another postseason run this year. That would be awesome.
That was a blast last season.
When CoogTube returns, conference champs. The men's cross-country team terrorized the competition at the WCC Championships, living up to their 5th place national ranking.
And 5-set thriller. The women's volleyball team has a 1-game lead for first in the WCC, but not without first earning it with a comeback at the house. We'll be right back. The men's cross-country team is returning from the WC Conference Championships in California. CoogTube reporter Kyle Ireland joins us live in the newsroom to tell us about their trip. Kyle, what were the results like for the team?
The Cougars were looking to get back to their winning ways over the weekend. After a 1-point loss in the conference championships to Portland last year, the Cougars hit the track this time around, running for revenge.
Energy, endurance, and winning. Those words describe the 2013 BYU men's cross-country team. The Cougars are fresh off of a dominating performance, capturing the WCC Conference Championship in California last week. The team says it's now in control of its own destiny.
We came out victorious, and it was a great victory for the team, and we celebrated afterwards, and it was fun.
The conference championship trophy wasn't the only piece of swag the Cougars brought back to Provo. Senior Jason Witt sprinted his way to first place overall, earning him the National Cross Country Athlete of the Week award, an honor he says he did not even see coming.
Oh, really? It was quite a surprise. It is an honor to be the National Athlete of the Week for cross country.
All this recent success gives the team poise, something it says will come in handy for the Mountain Region Championships in Ogden next week. The team says it's working hard to keep running on the right track and still has a lot more to accomplish this season.
Well, I think it gives myself and the team a lot of confidence that we're going to be able to go to regionals, that we're going to be able to do what we need to do to advance to nationals.
The team had an impressive showing in Malibu, with 4 Cougars placing in the top 10 and showing great depth for the rest of the season. Live in the newsroom, Kyle Ireland, CoogTube.
With that depth, what can we expect from the team for the rest of the season?
Well, the Cougars are going to head up next Friday to Ogden for the regionals, followed 8 days later by the Nationals in Terre Haute, Indiana.
Well, I guess number 5 nationally isn't too far from number 1. Thanks a lot, Kyle.
Don't call it a comeback. Actually, never mind. Do call it a comeback. The Lady Spikers erased a 2-set deficit on Saturday to top the Pepperdine Waves. Kat Lescheminat came up big for the Cougs in the 3rd set and eventually came out with a career-high 11 blocks. After the Cougars got some life in them, they were unstoppable. Alexa Gray had 16 kills, Tamara Haddock wasn't far behind with 14, and Sierra Parker contributed 16 digs. Let's wave goodbye to Pepperdine, get it, and talk about last night's match against San Francisco. It wasn't quite as nerve-wracking, but that's okay. Our Cougars swept the Dons in 3 sets, no sweat. Lescheminat had another amazing game, 10 kills on 21 attempts with just 2 errors. This time Haddock led in kills with 12 and Gray had 10. The Sizzlin' Spikers take on Santa Clara on the road tomorrow.
Surprised they've hardly missed a beat even with Jen Hampson choosing to redshirt volleyball. When CoogTube comes back, this week's best. A football bye week doesn't mean a lack of top plays. There was plenty this last week, but we've got our top 5 coming your way.
And I'll let you know how much more of this beautiful sunshine weather we can expect. Your 11 game